about this? How about we try setting the right example for young people? How about that? How about we send a message loud and clear? You do drugs for recreation and you're retarded. You're a loser. That being said, I do feel kind of conflicted about meth. Methamphetamine, you know, I feel kind of patriotic about meth because it's the only thing left that Americans still proudly manufacture.
And now it's about to get all medieval and in this bitch. I fought many enemies in my time. Goblins, vampires, werewolves, orcs, Puerto Ricans, but my least favorite enemy to do battle with has to be the dragon. Because they scratch, they bite, and they're total douchebags. Deep in the cave, or high on the mountain, or guarding their gold at the end of a dungeon, a beast prepares to raid yon castle. That's when you realize dragons are burning yon village with fiery eruption. They talk during movies, they ruin deception. Flying up high, stalwart and fast. When they're not driving Hummers, their brights on full blast. Tailgating your... This too late to pass! A killing machine from its tail to its snout. That'll screw with you on Facebook if you don't log out. They terrorize kingdoms, they're burning down forts. They pay off their bar tab with child support.
Anyone see Jack Reacher yet?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet. I want to see it. I love those movies. I love those movies with like a super bad spy who the government trains to make him like even more bad and like kill people and shit. What I don't buy about those movies though is that the super killer good looking spy is always so witty on top of it. I don't think that makes sense. I think that's bullshit. I think they should make them like every single high school jock I ever knew who was good looking and a physical specimen. Make him a little awkward. That's all right. They trained him to be a killer. They need to have a day where it was just puns for any situation that came up.
If a knight would attack, the dragon would burn them and borrow their lighters and never return them. These dagger-toothed douchebags that none can defeat. Wear spandex in the ride, bicycles in the street. You know, there's a sidewalk right there. You know, it's illegal to ride your bicycle in the sidewalk in most innocent areas. But come on, let's be honest with ourselves. You know, it's legitimate your traffic hazard. And like, no, I know it's legal. It's perfect. It's just like you're a danger to yourself.
Okay, good. How great would it be if I really had an accordion and a song about dragons? And I was like, well, I mean, that birdie was funny, but check this out. And it wasn't that good. And you could all be like, we've seen that done better. 10 minutes ago. So hi guys, I went home to visit my family recently. We went to church. You guys remember church? Like, what that was like and everything? Oh boy. Uncomfortable shoes. My parents get me to go to church. They go, if you come to church with us, we'll take you out to breakfast afterward. And I immediately like, tell me more about this Jesus fellow. What has he got to say?
I want to see the one guy that would work on though. The one guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna get her. Oh, she's on the phone? She can be on the line with AT&T trying to figure out why her voicemail doesn't work. I'll let her finish. Hey, my mom taught me well. I have manners. I'm a rapist, not an animal. You know, I do that too though sometimes. I'll like like act like I'm on my phone, but it's for a completely different reason. It's so that when I'm like practicing my comedy bits on the sidewalk, I don't look like a crazy person. But see, I think it backfires on me though, because I say things like, I'm a rapist, not an animal.
I want to create my own product called Lady Alines. They're going to be trampolines with a better reputation. I've been having a problem with my cat recently. I think she's gone crazy. She started collecting stray old ladies with absolutely no capacity to feed them, so it's really fallen on me.
Just wait till the Chinese get a hold of meth, like they've stolen every other manufacturing job from Americans. They'll be making it cheaper and better. You think Walmart's tweaker central now, just wait. But even marijuana, more and more studies are showing you don't want your kids doing marijuana. Studies are showing it causes brain damage when used while the brain is still developing. And we know now the brain is still developing up to age 25, unless you live in southern states, and then it's age 5, as we've recently seen with Honey Boo Boo. That, legalize marijuana. Alcohol, cigarettes are legal, right? Yeah, they are. How's that been going for us, too, for the last 100 years? You know, why do we even have laws in America? At all. Don't we have laws for the same reason our moms and dads and teachers gave us rules? Give us some kind of safe boundaries within which to live a healthy life? Imagine that. F*** you, Mom, and your oppressive war on playing in the street.
It's unnerving. We even have, you know, a lot of ethnic groups have drinking holidays, which is a smart idea, because if you're sort of a put-upon minority, get a drinking holiday going, and then people love you. I don't know if you know the history of the Irish in this country. People used to hate the Irish. You know, there'd be signs in hotel windows that would say, no Irish, no dogs, you know, and then under that, no blacks, because duh. That's how it's always been in this country. But Irish. And then the Irish came up with the idea of St. Patrick's Day, you know, and they're like, you let us integrate into your society, and once a year, you can get drunk in the middle of the day. And everyone was like, welcome to America!
Make them a little socially awkward. That's okay. Jason Bourne's got a slogan for anything. It's just like, is that an ice cream cake you guys are eating? You better chill out. Anything. He's ready to go. You guys building a clock? You guys are out of time.
I think I am kind of crazy. Like, I'll talk, like, that's how I come up with stuff. I just talk to myself, like, in the mirror and shit. Like, it's like a form of psychosis. Like, I remember when I was younger, my dad would embarrass me when my friends would come over. He'd be like, oh, you think you're Ben's best friend? No, Ben's best friend is in the mirror. He talks to him after he takes showers for an hour. He'd be like, shut up, Dad. It's really embarrassing. I'm not good with, like, text messages, though. Like, I'll never know how to respond to them. This girl texted me the other day, nothing much. You? An entire day after I texted her, what's up? So I'm going to reply, just chilling, exactly 1 year from now.
I don't go out a lot. I don't party much. But actually last week I agreed to go out and I went out on Hermosa Beach. If any of you are familiar, it's the home of the douchebag. Not that guy was a douchebag, but when you go to bars, there's just a lot of douchebags out there. And I never expect to meet anyone quality. And so I was really surprised. I met like an amazing guy. And I ended up spending about 10 hours with him. He left his friends. He came and met all my friends. It was you know, one of those things when as a psychotic girl, you think to yourself, this is the story I'm going to tell my kids, right? And so we end up by walking out on the pier. And he's showing me pictures of his dog and his mom, and it's so romantic. And finally I'm like, when are you going to kiss me? At which point he tells me that he's actually engaged. And I was his last morality test to himself. But been so long that, like, I'll take a good mind.
I want a Jason Bourne, a Jack Reacher, who's a little socially awkward, who tries a little too hard and comes off not that witty. That's okay. He doesn't have to be. He's killing people. I want a Jack Reacher who's just like, what up, f***s? You ready to get f***s in the ass with bullets? Because that's what gay... Dude, I can do that all day. Just, what up, stapler? You ready?
How many of you guys come from a religious family like me? Yeah? You guys remember Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter? Woo! Yeah, so sad he passed away. But when I visit my family, that's what it's like for me. It's like a crocodile hunter episode. Shh! Now kids, don't try this at home. The only reason I can do this is because of my many years of experience with dangerous creatures like the Egyptian cobra and the Nile crocodile. But I'm about to get up close and personal with a creature even more scary than that. The Southern Baptist. Thank you very much. Connie Bryan. Matter of fact, let's see right now. Yeah, you better run. But seriously, if you're like me, your worldview is we're all in this together, right? Yeah. You know? So when the Egyptians had their Arab Spring, we were all Egyptians. You know, when the Haitians had their horrible earthquake emergency, we were all Haitians. And when the Kardashians have their horrible Hollywood emergencies, we're all the Kardashians. Whatever happened to must-see TV? It's been clearly replaced by must-have a trailer and KY Jelly TV. Hollywood just keeps jamming this shit programming down our throats while we're all like Peter from the Family Guy going, oh my God, who the hell cares? Somebody must care, or Hollywood wouldn't keep producing this garbage. Mom wives, what else? Swamp porn stars or pawn stars? What's the difference? You know, Kentucky antique pickers. The Duck Dynasty. I lose track of the names, I'm sorry. They all start blending together in this hodgepodge of mouth-breathing, ignorant bullshit. You know, the only thing that really shocks me is not the amount of this stupidity on the tube now. It's really not the amount of it that shocks me. It's the programs I never dreamed would came into this ignorant, redneck, white trash trend. Have you guys heard of Amy Goodman from Democracy Now? She's changing the name of her show to Democracy Cow. I almost can't say that with a straight face. Anderson Cooper from CNN, his new show, he's catering to the lowest common denominator, changing the show AC 360 to AC 420. Even C-SPAN. Have you guys heard the big news? C-SPAN is caving into this ignorant trend. They're changing the name of their channel to C-Spandex. Yeah, they're going to launch the new channel with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. I just want to know who the hell is watching this. It's got to be people sitting around their double wide with nothing else to do. And there's nothing else on TV, and they're sitting on their couch with a plastic protector, you know, with their KY jelly in their hand, all perplexed. And they're going, whoa, what do I do? I watch have the delicate formula to keep people watching. They're only going to greenlight shit, white trash programming that is so bad, it makes you want to masturbate before you can even change the channel. God, that shit! Give me the remote. I'm just going to play with myself. Thank you. You know? It's so shitty that it makes you sit there and go, you know, I think it's so bad I just got to play with myself. I wrote a song, and I got to tell you how I was inspired to write it. I made fun of Sweet Home Alabama with a tune I think you're going to like. But I got to say, I feel really bad because I've never, ever, I sound like Taylor Swift, don't I? I never in my life ever used the N-word, ever. I consider it to be the most vile word, but the other day, and I think I used it in the right form, because aren't we allowed to use it if you ever have to with an A at the end? Isn't that right? Is that right? Is that right? Nigga? Yeah. But I would never use it. I swear to God, I would never use it, but it happened spontaneously in context. I want to share that ahead of time. I didn't mean to, it just came up, but I'd never said it before, and I want to tell you what happened. You do not have to explain to an African American that Sweet Home Alabama is a racist song. It's obvious, right? But you do have to explain it to white people, because all they hear is, and they just want to dance, right? You have to explain to them, Leonard Skinner was a racist group. They used the Confederate flag on stage, you know. They wrote that song because they were pissed at Neil Young for writing Southern Man, because he was letting them have it for the slavery with Southern Man. So they wrote that song, and it's a very racist tune. I'm at a bar the other night. I had never seen a black man start dancing and singing to that song until it came on the jukebox. That was the first time. And all his buddies dropped their pool cues. They were going to leave him there. They looked at me, I looked at them, and I said, he's singing Sweet Home Alabama, and I just said it. I'm like, Sweet Home? I said, Alabama's never been your sweet home, nigga. I'm like, shit. And I turned to his buddies, and I thought his buddies were going to kick my ass, but they were laughing. I'm like, oh, but I'm sorry. They said, no, honey, that's funny. They said, you did the right thing. You said nigga, and you used it in context. So I wrote a song about it. I'm going to do it, and I'll get off stage. I think you'll like it. I want you to sing with me on the chorus, Sweet Home California. I think you're going to like this.
Oh, my God.
I heard Rush Limbaugh talking about her. I heard the Ku Klux Klan putting her down. Well, I hope Neil Young will remember. Those guys are retarded anyhow. Help me out. Sweet Home California. Sweet Home California. Where the skies are so blue. Where the skies are so blue. Okay, maybe not LA, but Sweet Home California.
California gives the, or I should say Los Angeles gives you the opportunity to go up 5 times a night if
What
you
are
want
some of the
to.
mistakes you see open micers continually making that hold them back from making progress in comedy?
Getting frustrated with the crowd. That's the big one. It's like, because, I don't know, like I feel like you're, especially in an open mic situation, most of that crowd is going to be other comics.
And then it's hard to get them to laugh.
It's hard to get them to laugh, so you kind of...
They'll hear something, they'll think it's funny, and theyll just say, that's
just
funny.
giggle.
They'll think that's funny.
Like if you can get a from the crowd of a bunch of comics,
That's
a laugh for real people.
Okay. All right. And Casey?
I just think comics need to go into it with a little more humility, because when you're an open mic, you're not going to get very many laughs, especially if you have a vagina. Then it's just even harder.
It's harder.
They just are like, oh.
Yeah, that's how they're thinking.
No, but they are thinking that.
Yeah.
No, I just think there needs to be a little more humility, because you're not going to get laughs, not very many, and appreciate those you have, and have patience. Have more patience with other comics. More patience.
Yeah. Okay.
We need more Haitians.
We need more.
More Haitians, more patience.
How can people remember you? How do you stand apart with a name like that?
With Dave?
Dave Thompson?
Yeah. I don't know.
How do you make yourself
I wear a
stand
lot
out?
of silly hats.
So you're going to do some stand-up tonight at the open mic at Echoes on Sunset?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing comedy?
Like 4 years.
Fantastic. All right. So you got the 3 minutes nailed, right? You got it all memorized?
Yeah, I think so.
It can sometimes
I've been
be-
working on a solid 1 minute.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's going all right so far.
And hey there, who do we have here? What's your name?
Dave Thompson.
I told you there was a million. We got two of them right here.
That's so wild.
And you wear a silly hat. Look at this.
I gotta separate. Sometimes he wears a silly hat. Sometimes I wear the
Right. Okay. And so how long have you been doing stand-up?
4 years.
You guys have been doing, okay, so
We
you guys
are
have the
arch
same,
nemesis.
don't tell me you have the same fathers too, right?
No.
Okay.
Same mom.
Same-
Different dads.
All right, so you live here in LA?
Yes.
Okay. And is comedy your main thing in life? You trying to make a career out of it?
Yes. That and hat modeling.
What are some of the pitfalls that you see having done open mics for 4 years that maybe hold people back?
I'd say, having the same name as somebody is pretty tough.
I'm here with Christian Chavez, Echoes Under Sunset in Glendale.
No, we're in Echo Park.
Echo Park.
Echo Park.
Hence the Echoes Under...
Under Sunset. We're right underneath Sunset Boulevard in Echo Park. So we decided...
Take Glendale Boulevard to get here, though.
Right. It's
Okay.
Glendale Boulevard, but that's why we're Echoes Under
And
Sunset.
this is your place. You've had it for how long now?
Had it for about 6 months now.
Okay, and its focus is it's a comedy club. And
It has turned into a comedy club. It was generally focused to be an art lounge, having one night comedy, and little by little all you comics started coming out and started taking 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, and then I saw it was like really interesting doing comedy, so we decided to turn it into a comedy club.
And you have
art
open
lounge.
mics Monday and Thursday?
And we have open mics Monday and Thursday. Monday from 8 to 10, and Thursdays open mic is from 7 to 9.
Okay. And the comics get to do the typical 3 minutes?
They get to do their typical 3 minutes. All we do is ask them, to help out with some drinks. 2 drinks minimum.
2 drink minimum?
Yeah, 2 drink minimum. Help us out, pay the rent here.
And how long have you been doing this?
And I've been doing this now for 6 months now.
Well, let's hope it turns into it's like 10 years, 20 years that you'll be here doing
I hope
comedy.
so. That would be a great thing to do.
You could be the Lorne Michaels of
Echo Park.
Echo Park. Wouldn't that be nice?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. Looking forward to it tonight, Christian.
Thank you very much. Glad to have you.
Guys, on deck we have Ryan O'Flanagan, but next up we have Mr. Rivers Langley.
Alright. What'd you guys do today? Anything fun? I f***ed with a terrorist on Twitter all day. It's true. I'm from Alabama originally, and a couple of my friends who are from Mobile graduated with a kid who graduated high school and then moved to Somalia and is now an honest-to-God on the FBI most wanted list terrorist. And he joined Twitter today. So I've been having fun all day long. I looked up a picture of this guy, and his name is Omar Hamabi. You can look him up. And he's got, his beard looks like what happens if I try to grow a beard, just, really patchy and f***ed up. So, my first thing I said to him was, do the other terrorists make fun of you for not being able to have a real full beard? Hashtag Alabama Scraggle.
Life is going well, guys. Life is going pretty good. Not as good as Rihanna and Chris Brown got back together. You guys hear about this? Crazy. People are really upset about it, and I feel like if they don't care, we shouldn't care. It's none of our business. But I do like to imagine them just out on a really great date. They're having an amazing time. The conversation's flowing. They're laughing. And he's like, why did we ever break up? All right. Glad I got that on tape. Oh, man. It's pretty cold out there, huh? It's pretty cold out there. So I'm going to bring back this great impression. This is my impression of every girl in the entire world. Are you guys ready? Every girl in the entire world.
Oh no.
I'm cold. Alright, well that turned a little bit condescending. I was like, what are you really clapping at? It is a great impression though.
Listen to NPR in the car on the way over here. Yeah, that's right. Because look at me. Of course I was. And they were talking to a linguist from Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, and she has determined that the Elizabethan accent, that being the way English people spoke during Shakespearean times, to our modern ear would actually sound more like a Southern accent than an English accent. So, with that in mind, this is my impression of William Shakespeare as he actually sounded, writing Macbeth and telling his children to quit playing in the creek. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools away to a dusty death. Out! Hey, get out of that creek! Out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that frets and struts his hour upon the stage. Hey, if you don't get out of yon creek, you gon' catch the vapor!
I don't understand why guys like go to the gym so much if they're not gonna fight anyone, like ever. I was walking with my boyfriend on New Year's Eve, and this really drunk guy, like he was like a nice guy, I could tell, but he was like, Happy New Year, and he like slapped me on the ass. And I was like, fuck you, you fucking asshole, piece of shit. Like, just something classy like that. And then my boyfriend was like, do you want me to talk to him? Yeah. Could you take him out to lunch, have a little sit down, chat, like fight someone? Come on. Why are you always, why are you lifting the LBs if you're not gonna take it to the streets?
Maybe now you're gonna understand why the judge turned off your precious calling plan. You won't cause another traffic jam. Now that you have at least one free hand, and now that you've pulled your big fat head out of your Verizon